Hi everyone, this is Kathy with Creative Cutter Room. I'm getting ready to finish my Love is in the Air Project 1. It's called the Love MITT. I will have a Cricut Design Space file to share. I'm hoping this video transmits well. I'm going to try and talk loudly because I'm using my iPhone and my microphone doesn't hook up to it. But I wanted to give you the layout of all the cut pieces. So once you cut my file, you'll get this size. Now I want you to keep in mind whatever mitt that you buy, that you're going to do it to the back side. So if someone were wearing this, this is going to be on the back, not on the side that would actually touch the hot products. So all of these are done in their own color and they peel off of here easily. I wanted to get an idea of how I'm going to layer the images before I actually start ironing on. And this is one that I've already pre-weeded. On the V, I just want to point out that I did straight cut off. It curves a little bit, and I was thinking it would go right up against the edge of the mitt, so I straight cut it. It still looks fantastic. You can do that or you can skip it. That part will be up to you. I'm hoping that this transmits okay on the live feed. This is my first time doing a YouTube live, so I'm hoping it will work. The mitt came from IKEA and it matches a silicone cake, heart-shaped cake mold, and so I wanted to give the two as a gift, and that's what inspired this project, was this color silicone cake pan or mold. And this mitt. You can get this mitt at IKEA in different colors. Of course, you can buy one Dollar Tree or anywhere else. And then you would switch these colors to what works best for you. But I wanted to share this project as designed for this particular mitt. Now you can use your whatever method you want to iron this on. Some of you will have a heat press. Some of you will have the new Cricut one. Whatever you use, just be sure and protect your surface. You'll notice that my plastic is cut. That's because I'm using it for another project. So I decided to kill two birds with one stone, and I mirror cut the vinyl iron-on that I need, but I also cut, using the poster board setting, the actual plastic. I don't recommend that unless you're a pro and you're used to working with this material. It did not cut my vinyl in any way. I'm going to use that plastic for something else, which is why I did it. I'm using a regular iron. You want to be sure and have it on the no steam setting. You don't want any moisture coming out. If I didn't have the cuts already on here, I could just straight iron this on. I am going to use my Teflon iron-on protectant, so I'm sorry if there's a glare. I think this actually works better without the Cricut press or the other presses, simply because the glove is molded and textured. So I like my iron to get in here and get into all of the bumps. I'm going to move these images before they get stuck to something I don't want them to. But that's up to you. Do whatever works best for you. Some people will think the press is better. You know, use what you have is what I say. I have those other things, but for me, this is easier. Now, normally I would suggest not waving the iron around like I'm doing right now, because you don't want to introduce cold air as you've got the hot air. You want to sort of do the press, hold for 10 seconds, then lift and press and hold again. And you're going to repeat that with iron-on vinyl whenever you're doing a flat surface. Because this is a molded, textured surface, I'm kind of using the point to get in there and melt down the little crevices. So that's why mine is moving. And you can spot check this as you go. I know this isn't ironed on enough, but see how that's, oh no, got a little meltdown happening there. That's okay. That's going to get covered up by something, so I'm okay with that. This might be a little hotter than I want. I'm just going to make sure I've got all the pieces. Okay, I've done that side, but I haven't done the other side. I'm going to turn down my heat a little bit because it is hotter than I want. And then we'll continue on. So if you're working on some Valentine's projects, share with me. I'm happy to show my followers' projects on my blog. If you have not had a chance to visit my blog, I have changed my website quite a few times. I've now opened up a store site because I've had just a lot of requests for what I'm using. And my new site is Kathy, spelled C-A-T-H-I-E, Rigby, R-I-G-B-Y.com. So I wanted to simplify it. Not everyone knew the Creative Cutter Room site. Some people from my classes and from my book have remembered my name, and so I thought it'd be easier to just go with that. So let's see where we are here. And as you can see, that little doodad has already fixed itself. But there we go, that's a lot better. So I can tell that in spots that's not still completely melted down, and I'm just going to go in here and hit those spots. Now this isn't going to be a completely flat image. Keep that in mind when you work on yours. If it's textured and a little bumpy, that's okay. This is an oven mitt, not a flat, let's say t-shirt or pillowcase or something like that. So you're going to have that to deal with. I'm going to go in here. You've got to go around these seams, which you see me doing here. That's going to cause some wrinkles and some bumps, but that's all part of the charm of putting this iron-on vinyl onto an oven mitt. So I'm going to put this back down for the legs because it's a much wider image. So I hope you're having fun creating your Valentine's image. Like I said, if you have something you want to share and you think others might like to make it, you're free to send me that information and I'll add it to my slideshow of projects on my blog, on my new website. I do have some products for the things that I'm making. Some people will prefer just shop near them, and I'm fine with that. I'm more about inspiring than I am about, you know, you buying what I'm doing. And I certainly am never going to do the promoting. I do have some discount codes and things that I can offer for certain sites that I go to, like Cricut.com and stamps and things like that. But I'm not about promoting any one particular brand or product. I really just want to share what I'm doing, and if you want to do the same, great. If you want to do the same similar type of project with your own products, that works for me too. I like the creative process more than I do, you know, being a salesperson for anybody. And I know there's a lot of YouTubers that are very successful being salespeople. That's great. That's just not what I'm about. So keep that in mind. You're not always going to get a discount code or a link from me to go buy what I'm doing. Hopefully you can take what I'm doing and go work on something. There we go. Now don't worry about the lines and things. Like I said, I had to cut my plastic for another project. I'm going to go over top of this now with just the silicone mat, and that will help smooth everything out. So, you know, use your own projects, use my inspiration to help you create something similar. I'm all about being creatively independent. So if you see something that you just love, but you go, you know, I kind of hate the Cupid, I would rather have a coffee mug, or I would rather have, you know, a truck with hearts coming out of it, whatever suits your personal style and design, then do that. But hopefully I've inspired you to put some iron on an oven mitt. Okay, so that doesn't look fantastic, but I'm going to show you how it looks at the end when we're done with all of our layers. So my next layer I'm going to do is the Valentine. And that is going to go, I want the E to have the white showing through it. I hope that's showing up on camera. And so I'm going to line that up there. Sorry if I'm a little disjointed today. We are just kind of trying this YouTube live thing for the first time. I haven't been on YouTube for, it seems like forever, and that's mostly technical issues. My camera, my recording camera is broken down. I've switched cell phones a couple of times because work has wanted to use different products, and it's just made life chaotic for me trying to do my videos and switch equipment and all of that. So hopefully we're to a good point now where I can put out more videos, more inspiration. I've redone the website so that hopefully now we all have a way to shop the same products for those that want to, or to talk about the same type of things. Give you my blog posts at the same spot that I have the products. I will tell you that I'm a wholesaler, and so the products that I am selling are just more of what I've been using. So I'm not a store in the sense that I will have everything under the sun and you can shop from me. I will inspire you with some products that I'm working with, and you can buy from that stock of wholesale that I have purchased. So what that means for you is that you will get it at my price and not the retail price, because I'm not a retail store. So just know that up front. So everything will be like 30 to 40% off based on what it will cost me to ship it to you. So there's the Valentine. I see some spots there where the stitch is making it wrinkle, so I'm going to use this. Make sure I get the right side here. So that's how my store works. So I'm not a retail store. I'm not going to have everything under the sun. I'm not going to be the place you go to for supplies. Like I said, I just want to inspire people to create some things. And if you want to buy what I'm working with, then you're welcome to do that, because I've bought it in bulk and I can give the discount. I can pass the discount on, is basically what I'm saying. So for those that are interested in that kind of a thing, please feel free to stop by, shop from me. I just do this small business on the side. I have a full-time job doing completely something different, but my crafting is a hobby that I just don't want to give up. And so I share these videos and I help share what I purchase with all of you so that I can sort of feed my addiction. So we'll go to the next spot, which is going to be this Be Mine. You can see some of these are starting to flatten out. I think I intended for this to be not overlapping, so I'm going to try that. And you can see how having the iron and just that tip helps my project right now. You know, it's not going to be a perfect image, only because, again, you're working with a bumpy, lumpy surface. It's still adorable. You could still run this through the press if you would like, to make sure that you're not having anything lift up. And I will go through afterwards and make sure I'm pressing everything down. But you know, it is a very bumpy surface. You're not going to burn the mitt because, of course, it's an oven mitt. It's meant to take high heat, but the vinyl does, especially white, discolors a little bit if you put too much heat on it. So that's what I'm trying to be careful of, just not discoloring the white. And if you're going to use a different color, then that's probably not as big a problem. But I do like this white to look like a shadow behind this. I could have done black, but for me that was just too much black for Valentine. Okay, let me see where I am. It's looking good, but I see a little bubble there. I'm going to put some more pressure just right there. And if this is just a gift or if this is a display, you probably don't have to be as particular as I'm being. If I give this as a gift and it gets used, I don't want the vinyl to be peeling off or cracking or anything like that. I mean, it will over time, but I want it to be sure and be on there well. So I'm giving it a little bit more time. If you have not worked with iron-on vinyl before, I don't recommend this to be your first project. This is more for those that are comfortable working with iron-on vinyl. You have your tools and you've experimented. And if you look at my cut file, I have a particular way that I wanted these hearts on here. You can certainly do whatever you want with them. And this comes from an umbrella image that has hearts flying off of it, and so that's what I've used. I used hide contour to get rid of the umbrella and the other pieces, but I'm keeping the hearts. But what I was saying is, this is not your first project. Please don't be a first-time iron-on Cricut user and start with this, because you'll just be frustrated. It's not the best way to learn and or start. But for those of you that are pros, want a challenge, want to do something a little different, hopefully this is fun for you and you're enjoying it. Plus you're using all of your tips and tricks to make sure this comes out the very best. I'm just adding heat everywhere and make sure this is like what I'm liking. And I'll come back up here to the hearts. But you know, it's a cute project. You can use this cut file on anything else. So if you want to put this on a t-shirt, that would certainly be a good way for a first-time user to get used to looking at someone else's shared file, cutting out, or even, you know, changing it. You can customize it. There's always that option with Cricut, which I really like, that you can take someone's file and customize it. Please don't save it as my file with your changes. We want it to be the same cut file that I put. I think it locks it from you doing that, but just in case it doesn't, I want to say that because I want everybody to get this image and work from there. I don't want, you know, somebody to be missing the hearts or the be mine or have something else going wrong with it. So I can see that that little piece of heart is not quite all the way down, so I'm just going to work on that little piece. You know, and the stitching makes some of this look more wrinkled than other pieces, but I'm going to work with it. And I'm probably going to fuss with it more and more as I go. See, this is a flat image, so I'm going to use this. Now, this is the backing that, for those of you that know iron-on vinyl, you know what this is. But for those of you that don't, if you're a first-time user, this is the backing that comes on the iron-on. My cut file, you'll want to be sure when you go to make it that you have the pieces mirrored for your iron-on. So that means it flips it around when it cuts it so that when you actually cut it out and put it down, it's in the correct direction. So again, that's why I say if you're a first timer, there's some things you've got to be careful about. So iron-on, the mirror image effect is something you've got to understand and know. So if you're going to try this on a t-shirt, let's say, then please be sure you check that setting. And for iron-on, if you're a newbie, you also want to make sure that you put the plastic side down on your mat and the vinyl side up. For me to do the cut image that I'm using this, I can kind of rip it apart here, but you can't really see it, I know, with the glare. I'm going to use this stencil, well, the inside part, for another paint project. So that's why I wanted to cut through the plastic sheeting, and I did that all in one pass, so that's why I've got the 2-for-1 idea. But normally you're not going to cut through this. I do as a cheap method to creating stencils. But again, if you're a pro, those are some things you know about and you can do. First timers, please don't try that because you might waste a lot of vinyl if you're not comfortable with the iron-on. So this part right here where I said I wrinkled as I pulled it up because it wasn't quite ready, what I might do is just go back and cut another one of these hearts and just add it to right there. So again, that's another like expert tip. If something didn't work out quite right, instead of going, oh, that's terrible, you're just going to alter it. You're just going to customize it, change it up. I call those design opportunities. If you've ever taken a class from me, you've seen that we adjust things on the fly sometimes when things don't work out. Oops, right here. And so those are called design opportunities. I'm trying to stay off of the white because I don't want to color it. And I can see that that's what I'm going to have to do on that little wrinkled part. I could have taken my stylus and straightened that out before I set it back down, but I didn't want to do that while I'm filming. So those of you that are pros, I know you're yelling at me going, you could have fixed that. And I know, but I'm hurrying so that I can get this one project done and move on to my next one. And also, this is new to me, filming live, so we're just going to go with it. You can yell at me in the comments, but either way, I would appreciate a thumbs up or a thumbs down, I guess, if you enjoy this kind of a post, because I need to know what people want to see, what they don't want to see. If I'm wasting your time, I'd like to know that too, but it all helps me improve what I'm doing, and I hope all this is in camera. Sorry if it's not. And it helps me improve what I'm doing, and it also helps me know if I should continue on or just spend my time doing something else. If you're a Facebook fan, I do Facebook Lives. I do a lot of posting, just picture posting on Facebook. You know, I'm probably an old person, so Facebook is my thing. I'm having fun on Instagram. It's not my favorite because I don't seem to have the interaction that I have on Facebook that I enjoy, but you know, if that's your thing and you just want to see some good pictures, I'm getting help taking the photography so that the posts will be better. I haven't in the past laid these out for any kind of like a magazine shoot or anything. I've had other people do that, like when I did my book and things, but I understand that on Instagram and Facebook that kind of becomes more important. So I will get better at that. I will have people help me get better at that. But for now, here's the finished project. If you put this on, you can see how the wrinkles and stuff don't matter as much. I am going to do a fix on this, and probably when I take my final picture, you'll see a little heart right there. But this is my Be Mine Valentine mitt, which goes with the IKEA silicone mold in a heart shape as a Valentine gift. So if you've liked this post, if you've liked this creative idea, then please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I sure appreciate you for stopping by, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.